This is a dichotomy. This is a contradiction. It was bound to catch up with Chamisa, and it has finally done so. Strategic ambiguity has consumed its author, Akarumwa Nechekuchera Chamisa, because he did not want a party with structures, with a constitution, with an organization. He didn't want. And for your own information, the organization which the MDC was founded upon is owed to ZANU-PF. We are this Vanyamukuta, Triple C, formerly MDC. This party came from the trade union movement. One, the challenge of Chamisa finally being called upon to build an organization. Timbomona achiumba chake chinonzi chaChamisa sezvinoita vana vadiki vachiumba mombe dzerondo kubani kwechipudza mombe. We want to see him. That is the challenge before him. But secondly, there is another challenge.
Zvenyu team yemadhariken varombo nevapfumi vatenga data nevari pawifi tisingakanganwi avo vari kupocha wifi yepanext door neavo vakaiswa pahotspot. Zita rangu ndinonzi Mkoma Bonde aka Mkoma Bonde rai. Kana uchangotanga kusvika panapa dzvanya subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any exciting content uploaded like this one. Video randauya naro zvamanje manje, I want to do a commentary on Honorable Mutsvangwa vachitaura press conference ona kubva kwakaita advocate Nelson Chamisa ku Triple C. So tisakatamise nguva regati jambire mu video iri tonoti zviri kumbofamba sei, zvakamira sei, vari kuzvitorawo sei. But nyaya yacho ihombe, regati pinda zvenu mukati menyaya tinyasoona kuti zviri kufamba sei.
Say there have been events where the opposition leader has now abandoned his party. He is talking of charting new ways out of the Triple C. Look, that is his choice. If he goes that way, we want to hail, to congratulate those in the Triple C who have been fighting for the party to have proper constitution, to have proper structures, and to have a tangible organization. You can't have an amorphous entity thriving on what is called strategic ambiguity, trying to assume the mantle of running a country. We all, as human beings, live on structures because we work socially together. Social because we have conscious brains which put us together and so that we can use our hands to achieve things in a collective manner. That is the distinctive aspect about human beings from other animals. Now, if you eschew organization and you say we don't want organization, yet you want to be a leader, we're running a country. This is a dichotomy. This is a contradiction. It was bound to catch up with Chamisa, and it has finally done so. Strategic ambiguity has consumed its author, Akarumwa Nechekuchera Chamisa, because he did not want a party with structures, with a constitution, with an organization. He didn't want.
Ndofunga muri kuzvinzwira mega timu rangu hanzi Akarumwa Nechekuchera. Muri kuona kuti chi the reason being here ndepekuti when Chamisa paakasiya MDC alliance akanotanga Triple C, vanhu vaida kuziva kuti mastructures akakamira sei, zvinhu zvakamira sei, constitution yakakamira sei, so that vanokwanisa kuita yavanoita handitika. But zvisinei hazvo, mukomana anga akati chenjerei, akangwara, so haana kana kuda kuratidza vanhu mastructures kuti zvakamira sei, anga akatinya information iyoyo handitika. Saka ndo zviri kutaurwa apa zvinzi akarumwa nechekuchera, because vanhu vekunze vaingofunga kuti chinhu chachamisa chemudenmark ari ega waiziya. Saka rega tinzwa kuti mukuru ari kuramba achiti chii kumberi.
And we are very happy that the original members of this party, the original people who formed this party, are reasserting themselves, because what clearly happened in Buhera was a usurpation of power. The refuge in strategic ambiguity was simply a camouflage for dictatorial tendencies by one individual. That's why it was one individual trying to usurp power from an organization which had been built by others. And for your own information, the organization which the MDC was founded upon is owed to ZANU-PF. We are this Anyamukuta, CCC, formerly MDC. This party came from the trade union movement. There were no recognized trade unions before 1980. They were illegal. They were being hounded. They were being associated with the political African nationalism, because that's where African nationalism comes from. Joshua Nkomo, our revered founder, he came from the Railway Workers Union in Bulawayo. So organization came from the recognition of the trade unions by ZANU-PF. And Comrade Kangai and many others, you remember, they were very active at independence, putting together what became the trade union movement of Zimbabwe. Along the way, we had it being hijacked. It was not, that there should be an opposition, it's constitutional. So we had no problem with the formation of the MDC. But that they then used the workers' movement to compromise the very basis upon which they had been founded, which is anti-colonial nature of ZANU-PF, because that is the foundation upon which the original MDC was founded in the trade union movement. Then they abandoned that, then they started comporting with the foreigners. That's where we had a difference. So now that the original roots of CCC, MDC are reasserting themselves, we welcome that direction. And as for Chamisa, you see, organizations have a way of making somebody accountable. Ukatiza chikwata, you can ask what happens to an impala when it runs out, when it leaves the head. An impala bull, when it leaves the head and starts frolicking on its own. The lions out there, they are on the lookout because you are on your own. There is something good about belonging to an organization. But because he has never built one, he believes in strategic ambiguity. It's painful to build organizations.
Zvamanje hangu inini zvemutemo handizoziya hangu ka, but apo parotange pane ka threat nyana apo, pane ka threat kadiki apo kuti hanzi ukasiya organization ukatanga kufamba wega, apa pakati shatei mbichana apa, hapana kumira zvakanaka apa. Rega timboona kuti bohera apa, because zviri kunzi ukasiya organization ukatanga kufamba wega, shumba dzinokudya. Ndofunga shumba dzacho mese mutongodziziya, hapana need yekudzitaura apa. Ndo zvinenge zvitongoitika timu yemadarikeni pakaipa. Rega tifambe naro video redu tonotaofa, but hey, mawana.
Along the way you make mistakes, but along the way you acquire an ethos, an institutional capacity to deal with issues. That is singularly absent from Chamisa's mind. Yet he is now wanting to out. So we say to him, we wish you well where you are going to start building a party. You can now understand what ZANU-PF went through from the 60s, building the party to where it is today. And we wish him well in whatever venture he will be trying to do to succeed. But the organization has got a way to make you be accountable. There are books which have to be looked at. There are assets. There were funds which were received in different names. They were applied in one way or the other. We hear constant complaints by MDC membership, Triple C membership, which went to campaigns and were supposed to be paid and they were not paid. Now that you are no longer in charge of that organization, you have decided to abandon it. I hope the books don't disappear too when you abandon it, because the books remain. And people who have scores of administrative accounts to settle, they cannot be stopped because you may have the sympathies of outsiders from London, or because you were either working in accordance or in infringement of the laws of the land. So now I think he has to take full cognizance of the act of leaving the party which he has done from two aspects. One, the challenge of Chamisa finally being called upon to build an organization. Timbomona achiumba chake chinonzi chaChamisa sezvinoita vana vadiki vachiumba mombe dzerondo kubani. We want to see him. That is the challenge before him. But secondly, there is another challenge.
Right, mukuru azoita achifamba pamberi achitaura zvake nyaya yanga kutaura. Azotaura iye achitaura kuti tikuda kuti Mukomana Advocate Nelson Chamisa vange vari accountable. Kubva pawakatora MDC Alliance kusvika pawakazofoma Triple C, votiratidza kuti mabhuku avo aifamba sei, mastructures avo anga akamira sei. Boys zangu kana mchinzwa pepe zvinzi politics, it's a very dangerous game, it's a dirty game. Pakashata apa pane mashoko azotaurwa namukuru manje pamberi apa. Hands, I hope he's not going to spend most of his time in the courts. Muri kuona chigame ichi kwachiri kuenda. Imimi makamirira kuti Sadiki chadai so Mukomana chadai zvozodai. Amvarerwa account Mukomana. Akatotanga kutonosungiswa ipapa achinzi tipechi kuti zvinhu zvaifamba sei kuma-organizations. Saka focus inenge yabva manje pama-elections last year. Timu yamadarikeni ka zvinhu izvi mawana. Rekedza tirambe tinzwa zvedu mukuru kuti ari kuti chii zvedu pachinhu ichi.
He has to account for the days when he took over an organization called MDC Triple C with its structures and its administrative mechanisms and its finances and everything, because he was at the helm of it for that particular time. He has now, I hope that he is not jumping to spend all his time in the courts giving evidence against all the people who may have claims and counterclaims against his days when he was at the helm of the Triple C MDC. And the courts, you cannot be immune from the courts of the land. You have to announce to surrender yourself before the courts of the land. And judging by the grievances of those who formed the party, who are now coming back to claim it, they have a whole gamut of grievances. And these are not coming from ZANU-PF. Please, this is an internal matter of people who fall out among themselves. We have constantly appealed to him. Strive for unity and love within your party. Because that's what we do in ZANU-PF. Why we don't fracture in ZANU-PF is because we have an institutional memory of building an organization from scratch. I may have my ambitions as Christopher. Everybody who goes into politics may have his ambitions. But I know that they are best realized when they are within the body politic of ZANU-PF because of the institutional memory of organization which it has garnered over the years. If I try to move out on your own, no matter how much I think I'm smart, it will catch up because I am taken out of the institutional capacity of the experience of which has been built over the years. So the people who build the party have reasserted themselves. The one who usurped the party has run away. Let's see how it sorts out there. Pachana kids, I can assure you, the drama is about to unfold. and we will be watching. We will be watching the political theater, which is now coming into the Triple C MDC and its ramp.
Ndofunga mangozvinzwirawo mega timu yemadharikeni. Ndoziva kuti munofungei panyaya iyi yakadai soyi. Ko vakuru vari kuita hasha zvekudai so bo here. Chii chambonyanyowadzimba because hasi maafairs emudheni mawo kaya. Maafairs epanext door. Saka ukaona mudhara wako iwewe achizvimba kuti babu wepanext door vatiza mukadzi kana kuti vadai soka, wozoti pane problem. Vakutoda kuona kuti maafairs epanext door ari kuita sei. Saka meno timu yemadharikeni, let me know what you think in comment section kuti bo here zviri kuitika izvi kana kuti mawani. So as for me, Mkoma Bonde, ndosangana nemi video rinotera, musakangane kusubscribe, kulike nekuudza vamwe kuti pane dzangara dzimu wani riri kuita sei, riri kupisa zvamanje manje, riri kutipa mafresh exclusive nyaya dziri kuita sei dziri kupisa. Kune vasina kuona interview nemukomana advocate Nelson Chamisa, reka ndisendaisa mu link, ndise link mu description, mu first comment section mangona zvenyu mangona zvenyu link, andika manoona video ngonzwa mukomana achitaura the reasons why sei akabva ku Triple C akanotanga rimwe bato nyuwana, handitika. Saka ngatisangane mu video rinotera.